It takes a big man to admit when they're wrong, and I need to go on record and say that John was wrong when he said that they were going to be the Colorado Outlaws, or no?
Colorado out? You want to try?
Utah Outlaws? What are we talking about?
Are you admitting that you're wrong on that one?
It takes a big man to admit when somebody else is wrong, and I'm just putting it out there. You said it was going to be the Utah Outlaws, and I dug in on the Mammoth.
Outlaws. Did you?
No. But it takes a big man to admit when somebody else is wrong. So let's start there.
Next on Ugly Thirds.
Welcome back to another episode of Ugly Thirds. We have a What's in the News, a special bulletin, I guess you would call it. Special bulletin, yes. The Utah Mammoth, officially. Gentlemen?
Like you said this morning, not a lot of people under 30 are going to know what an op-ed is. Nobody's going to know what that...
I think they just know that that's a sound that goes with news. They don't know that it's a teletype. So, it's an old-timey sound. Anyways, that's also less important than a title of a show segment, in my opinion.
I respect that.
So, the Utah Mammoth, we probably should have got together and did it the day of, but we're filming right at the end of the week, so it could wait with all the other news. But then
it's too easy to jump on things the day of.
Right.
It needs time to percolate a bit.
You gotta let that marinate.
Yeah.
So, let's take a look at the... well, first off, if you have any news, Phil, I know the next slide is
I skipped that.
You skipped that too?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I already switched back.
Oh, now you already switched. Well,
so,
okay.
So, yeah.
Anytime you get news, send it to either that. A Hockey Jersey Guy is my Instagram. I'm usually responding within a day. So...
Your Instagram's he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but anyways, here's a logo.
Thanks, Phil.
Stealing her job.
The
Phil Show! The Phil Show!
So they went with the Mammoth, and it is a new logo, and I do like it. You want to go back to the... Good.
When we did speak first, we were hell-bent on the Yeti elements sticking to this look. The mountains built into the logo somehow, and they did that. They did a really nice job. Now, not everybody's cup of tea, apparently, because you said people were just spouting off on sports logos.
Yeah, the sports logos board was afire with, it's EA Sports, it's generic, it looks like crap, it's too heavy on the bottom right. I disagree. Now, this is the same crowd that hated the Winnipeg Jets for being too boring in 2011. I remember that vividly. I said then that it's simple enough. It's going to stand the test of time. This is going the opposite direction. And someone did make a concept of a flattened version where you take out all the shading. It looks a little better now, but I don't know that it's going to hold up because these things go in trends. Right? If you remember all your icons on your iPhone way long ago, they were all big, like the YouTube was a literal television, like an old-timey set-top box with knobs on the bottom. And now everything has gone to completely flat icons. Burger King went from its 3D with the blue swooshy to back to the 80s flat, it's two patties and Burger King. Utah is bucking the trend on this, and I think looking ahead of, everything is flat right now. Every logo is flat, simple. They're going to go with 3D, and they're going to hope that works. And I think in the next 10, 15 years, I think that's going to pay off.
It's also, we're getting back to the white space that Hartford did so well back in the 80s and 90s with that H and that W. We've had Vegas come in with the V built into the helmet. We've had Seattle with the tentacle. But this, I think, of those three, this one does it the best.
Do you want to actually maybe skip to that slide, Phil? It's got just the big logo with an arrow.
The orange ones?
Yeah.
So, no. Past that. Giving away everything. Too far. That one. I wasn't going to have you put it up yet. Did you notice Utah in the logo? Because now you can see it.
And is that an M at the bottom of
It
Utah?
sure is an M, and the tusk makes a U. So everything is baked into it, which I think is really, really clever.
It is. It's very, very well done. Very well thought out. I'm glad they took a year to do it instead of just slapping something together. You and I were talking, the hopes is that they start blowing out the jerseys that aren't going to be used going forward.
Oh, yeah. These will go on massive discount, I'm sure.
I hope so.
Kills me. But
I hope so.
Phil's already checking for, can he buy more of them?
No, I already have a set of these.
And?
So.
When has that stopped you?
Unless they're $10.
Oh, the $10 Boston sale.
All right, so let's take a look. So 2 slides ago, if you want to take it away and put it back up, or
okay, hold on.
2
Which
slides
slide
back.
do you want me to go? Like,
I want to look at what they put with the three logos.
you want the 3 options?
I want slide 49.
Okay, I can't see the numbers on the thing, so this is what we're gonna.
Got
do.
it.
So
Full screen.
No, full screen.
Full screen.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Sulu. Yeah, so it's not what they originally put forward. And with that pointed out, is like, oh, okay, I do like the upgrades they made. If you go to the next slide, you'll see exactly what they did. I think everyone talked about the mountains of the hockey club logo. The obviously was supposed to be the Yeti logo.
Yeah.
And they said, but that's such a good element that they decided to unround it, add in the mountains. They moved it a little more forward facing, so you only see one tusk. So there is they took the original ideas. You can even actually see on the eyebrow of it is completely different. So they redid. They made a new logo.
They polished it up.
They sure did, and they took the ideas from the hockey club logo that people liked, and they applied it here. And I think that is, I mean, that's how you do this. That is proper logo design. That you take the feedback you get, you move forward with it, and as much as I'm sure they didn't want it to go and leak, I think that worked out really well for everyone involved. The more feedback, the more you see. And who knows, it might have been like, we know this is going to leak and we're going to listen and see what people say.
Oh, could be. I mean, it very well could have been strategic.
Right.
You never know. Because honestly, like, you look at where we are now with amateur people being able to do things like this on their own through Photoshop. Like, people without a lot of marketing experience have put together some really cool concepts.
Oh, yeah.
So why not lean into the public and see, like, oh, what can we do? And then all of a sudden you have people on the subreddit being like, well, I created this like 4 months ago, and they flat out ripped it off. So
yeah, so Phil's already like, ma. And like, is that a good Phil impression?
Pretty good.
Hey, you respect the holiness here, okay?
Oh, that's true.
Oh, he's Pope now.
Pope
Anyways. There is a lawsuit, and I was going to include screenshots from Twitter, and I just, like, it's not big enough, and then Phil made a big deal of it in our conversations, and I'm like, well, I guess I should have went and got that. A guy is suing, someone is suing, saying that they made this logo. In the context below added by readers on X, it says that this logo was made after that tripart, the 3-1, was leaked. And so that person took those ideas of what if we took the Mammoth and had the mountains, did it, and it does look remarkably similar to what came out.
Yeah.
But you're already taking things to use it. I don't know that has any... I don't know the ins and outs of fair use, but that feels like it goes too far on my end.
I imagine there's enough money baked into the Utah Hockey Club where they can just continually put this going on and on and on, delay to where it's not even going to be profitable for this person to do it. But throw them a couple of jerseys and call it a day. As someone who could have gone the same route yourself.
Right. I actually was in that situation. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And like, I get the feeling it's going to be one of those things we never hear anything more about, like the Seattle Metropolitans lawsuit. Like, I have no idea what the update is on that. Someone asked, and I never heard a thing.
Yep.
Not a word.
Now, did this guy who's suing, did they post their logo that they created?
I believe so, yeah.
I believe
because that would be my curiosity, like, where did he post it?
Reddit, I think. It was
right,
time. It was time. I mean, at that point, it's time stamped.
But if it's using the elements of the stuff that was released, I mean, if it came out before that, okay, now you got a real case. Which that did happen. The Baltimore Ravens, their inaugural season logo is buried, never to be seen again, because they were close enough to something someone mailed into the team. The guy sued. The shield with BR and wings on it, which was on their helmet at the beginning. He sent something in remarkably similar, and I guess he won because you can't find any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, could it happen? But I highly doubt it. I think
sure.
I think teams have learned their lesson since then.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, let's talk about more of the brand. Let's look at the full slate. After that one. So you can see we have word marks. Another complaint on sports logos was like, why do you need the tusk and the U? The U is a tusk.
Yeah, that's my biggest gripe here. It doesn't look good. It looks like something I did when I first started learning how to do like Photoshop and things like that.
I mean, if you go to the next slide, we have just the.
I think it would be cool
isolated.
if they did it on the A going across, like at least put like the tusk in there, or build it into an A where there isn't a natural, I don't know what the cross is, or do it on the H at the end, something like that.
I don't know how you do it without including the rest of the mammoth look, body, head. Like I think the mammoth is clearly off screen still.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Like visually, it probably would look better. Logically, I don't know that it works.
Yeah.
I don't mind this. I don't. I figured that was going to be the shoulder logo. Like that looks like a decent shoulder logo
Sure
to me.
does.
Maybe eventually it will be. This team is definitely leaning into that. We need to brand properly and gain recognition before we lean into the look.
I wonder if they do something with the tusk with the C and the A, like kind of like what's her face did. Arizona when they built it into the cat. Was it the cacti?
Yes.
Yeah.
As of now, apparently not. But that would be a fun and easy thing to add in.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Lightning were able to change their numbers after unveiling their new look, I don't see why you can't change the C and A.
Yeah, I can't imagine they're committed to anything right now.
Not for that. Not at that level. All the rest of the stuff is made, but that's easily changeable. Yeah.
Cool.
Phil?
Is there another slide?
Yes. Yes, there's many more slides. We want the Utah State. Yeah. So the original, the update, I kind of feel like this is a downgrade in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of this.
There's something wonky about it. The first one isn't. It's a safe play, but there's something wonky about this, like having the stick there. Like
yeah.
The way that it kind of comes down, it looks off kilter. It's not my favorite.
I imagine the right map projection that's not like incorrect, but it looks funny. I don't like it.
It does look funny.
I get doing the diagonal, but I don't think it should have been on a slanted state. I don't like the hockey stick. I feel that's very unnecessary. No. If any, I mean, like I saw nothing wrong with doing the original. You replace Hockey Club with Mammoth if you really want, or NHL in the top before the cutout.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks wonky. Yeah.
Yeah, not a big fan of that, but let's look at the jerseys. So, I mean, this is the big thing. If you want to go full screen, Phil. Like that is the big thing there. Go ahead.
For me, my biggest takeaway from seeing these two is that you've opened the door to a really cool third eventually. Home and road is fine. I mean, and we're starting to see that more on the road where the road jersey has the actual city name from which they play, and the home team has something nodding to their nickname. Tampa did that for the longest time, but it was so subtle with Tampa. But I like this. I think they I think they've done it right, without completely rebranding their road jersey. But this leaves the question to be what would a third jersey look like? And if I'm going out on a limb and I'm going to say, you want to encompass the whole state in all of this, the eastern half of the state is very orange. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to look something like one of the, the second reverse retro from Arizona, that burnt orange deserty looking thing. That's where I think a third is probably headed with him. That would be my guess.
I think another color is in the works long term. I think when sales start to stagnate or you get into a reverse retro like program, you could see that happening. But I think like Seattle, they're not going to want to muddy the brand much for a while.
What about doing a Minnesota effect? So it's just the outline of the Mammoth, but then it's the scenery of Salt Lake. So you have like mountains and stuff like that, kind of like the scenescape for Minnesota.
Well, let me ask you this. Who does the MLB jerseys? Do we know?
It's Nike, but Fanatics is the main manufacturer of it behind the scenes.
Do they have that flexibility to do that City Connect under the Fanatics brand? Like, is that what's coming for the NHL?
I bet Major League Baseball has all sorts of copyrights on it. Like, NFL just announced the Rivalry series they're going to do. Your Bills are in one of the first year of it, so we'll see that.
Cool idea, though.
Yeah, well, and that's just it. Having something interesting. And I think the NHL needs to do a throwback series in order to free up teams to do something new. Or the opposite. Because teams love to lean into the throwbacks for third jerseys, which I like. But it does stymie innovation. And so you create something where, like a City Connect, where you want innovative new jerseys. Reverse Retro did the opposite. They went further back. So I think the NHL needs to allow teams to have a throwback full-time and open up that third jersey slot by doing that. And so I think that's the way to make that happen.
Does Utah throw back to Arizona, which throws back to Winnipeg, which throws back to Atlanta? Like, do we get a Flames jersey? How cool would that be? Come on.
So an asteroid coming down from the air for the extinction, even though that's after the fact?
By that time, Atlanta will have a team again?
It's going to be Atlanta Phoenixes, because that's what it should be if you do Atlanta.
No, it's a slap in the face. You're going to upset a lot of people.
But if you do a Phoenix?
If they do Phoenix, Arizona, something like that, yeah.
Oh, yes, it gets the city. Because I'm just saying, third time for Atlanta, reborn. Phoenix is reborn from the Flames.
There's a pathway.
Before. I hate it. I hate
it.
it.
Can't go back to Winnipeg. They're already there.
Quebec. It should be Quebec. I think the immediate third jersey. So, and I think that third jersey happens when you adjust the white from Utah to a logo. You make an ice blue jersey with Utah down it in black, and it's gonna be gorgeous.
Yep.
It's good. Like that Penguins Winter Classic jersey with a little sharper blue text on it. It's gonna be gorgeous. Yep. And I think the only reason they don't run out and do it immediately is because you don't want to muddy the brand in the first couple years. Get people by the home and road. Have that unity in the fan base of when you look in the arena, it's the same jerseys. And I do think it's an interesting choice. I don't think it's a bad choice to go with not having the logo home and road.
It seems like a new trend. Like they're sticking with what's trendy at the moment.
I don't think it's a trend. Phil said the same thing, and I don't feel like it's any more. It's happening more now than it has ever. I don't think this is because...
Has anybody done it besides Carolina and Florida? I've never heard of this team. Who is this?
Well, Pittsburgh. And it's a Penguin. And that's
because most people hated the RoboPen for so long.
And this was not designed out of that reason for, we want recognition. They had 2 jersey sets. They wanted to go 4 jerseys, and they just picked the 2 best out of each. We did a whole episode on that.
Yeah.
But this baseball style, you show your city on the road, it works. And in order to push everyone of, well, who is this team? Well, it's Utah, right? Utah is not like a well-known sports place, despite the Jazz. I think that there's a lot of pushing that idea of no, we need to be recognized. Let's
Sure.
start this way. So on the road, we're going to show we're Utah. They move the logo to the shoulders. At home, you don't need to show it's Utah. You put the logo. I think in 5 years, that switches up, so you have logo on both. Third jersey.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, though, like, with rumblings of the whites returning to home.
That would be the biggest screw up for this.
I'm wondering why they didn't put the mammoth on the white, and I'm wondering if that'd be too much white. Like, they have it on the shoulders, but that's small.
No, I bet it would work.
Yeah, it would work fine.
I'm sure they
probably
tested
done
that.
it.
Yeah.
Also, the C is just the U in Utah.
Oh, is it?
It's a little bit shorter in terms of long wides, but if you look at the edges,
Looks like a cartoon magnet.
so if you look at the, I don't know if you can see it, but like,
Yeah, okay, versus
Yeah,
yeah, so if you turn it around, it's a U, and it's this U, just this is long here.
Yeah, a little bit. That's not too
Eh.
bad. That's clever.
I think I'd rather have your mammoth tusk is a
Yeah.
more fun idea. Full uniform, Phil, is the next one. So, I mean, it's not just a jersey, obviously. The full uniform matters.
That's a lot of black.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I'm not shocked at that.
What do they call it? Rock black?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I forget the name of the blue. But,
It's fine. It's fine.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
It's a very safe play for your first year.
I kind of enjoy that they didn't go with an italicized number font or letter font, even though the front is italicized. Like, I figured that would be a consistency thing, but it's gonna look cheesy.
Yeah.
So that's a very early 2000s move that they avoided. Pleasing, honestly. Oh, and the U's on the pants. So there you go.
Nice.
Little details I caught from videos. If you want to play the next one, because when I put this together, you do not have anything with the back. There's the actual stitched versions.
The shoulders are not like printed. It's a nice, actually sewn patch.
For now.
For now, I mean,
And I wonder if there'll be a difference between authentic fanatics and the scaled down, what do they call breakaway
the
fanatics?
breakaway. Yeah, I'm sure the breakaway will be printed on the shoulders. Would not be shocked. Curious what they do.
Like it looked like the T and the A in Utah look. If you're looking at it from like dead on, like it looks.
Oh, it does look off.
It looks off. Like
You know, if you wanna ruin someone's life, teach them what kerning is, the spacing between letters, and then you'll always see how terrible it is. And ruin everything you like.
Well,
and
maybe
then-
they were trying to do some mountainish things with this. Kind of like mountainy.
You're really
snowpack.
you're really looking into that one.
I'm just if they took a lot of time for imagery, I mean,
Yeah, everyone also put like mountain stripes on it, but with Colorado right there, you can't steal that element.
no.
Not now that they have it back. If they never did, that's another thing. And then finally, actually two things in this. I put their big chant, which I enjoy, and I also put with the top bar from NHL uniforms because they were quick on getting that up there. Full screen it, Phil. Does the logo stand out? That's really my litmus test. Does it stand out?
right next to Vancouver, not so much.
Yeah, not so much.
Like, yeah, and that's the point. Like, you know, Seattle doesn't. It does not stand out any more than Seattle does. And if it fits in that, then I think you've got a pretty decent logo. Like,
Yeah.
that's a litmus test of my own of does it match the rest of the league? Because, you know, if you have a minor league where everyone has cartoonish logos and you don't, you look weird. Doesn't matter how good your logo is.
Yep.
In a vacuum, you got to fit the league, and I think it does. So,
I'm noticing your last slide here. I'm curious as to where this is headed.
well, I mean, everyone knows the obvious, Phil. There's an obvious rivalry here.
Who's the team in the middle? Buffalo?
Oh no, that's Gary Bettman who organized this whole thing.
I have not seen that online yet. That's a good one.
That's Gary Bettman.
That's Gary. Next.
Absolutely. No, that's the end of the slides.
How about this? Winter Classic, the Ice Age Bowl.
Oh my God! Yes.
My God.
Yes, that needs to happen. That absolutely needs to happen. And I guess the only other criticism I've heard is it's Mammoth, not Mammoths. And
Yeah, just one.
It's just, and they said it's one for unity, which is total BS. Just say it sounded better, or that mammoth can be plural, which I don't think it can, but you say it enough times and it's going to work. That's how language works. You say it till it becomes the rule.
So they fall into that category now of very few teams that don't end with S.
Right. Well, like you just say mammoths, it's an awkward ending, and so I think they just, you know what? Everyone who said it hated it, just kind of, it's woody, mammoths, and so they just, you know what? Mammoth. Just mammoth.
Just one.
Just, yeah. But it could be like moose and just... I know it's not like right now that plural of moose is moose.
Yeah.
Plural of mammoth is mammoths, but it doesn't have to stay that way. Language evolves. Just say it's acceptable. Like octopi became acceptable when octopodes would be more correct. But nobody uses that.
Nobody calls you on that one, huh?
No. Anyways, we're getting deep into linguistics now, and I think it's time to end. Final thoughts, gentlemen. Phil, are you buying them?
They're not available yet.
Well, okay, when they're available.
I can see him sweating right now as he refreshes his page.
Yeah, I mean, I will buy them, because, I mean, this one I'm wearing now is going to be for this year, the white one, because it's the same base.
Oh, it is not the same, Phil. The font, the shoulder patches, completely different.
Anyways,
it's completely... Pull it up.
is it just slanted? I mean, is that the only thing I'm noticing?
Oh,
And the shoulder...
I said shoulder patches. Yes, I mean...
The shoulder patches matter, and the font is completely different.
Okay, whatever. Anyways,
it's a completely new white deal.
the article said it won't be released until the rest of the 25-26 set. So probably not until after the draft.
Which is fine.
But they said that the draft picks this year will receive.
Yeah, they'll go on sale in September ahead of the season starting.
And are you a buyer then?
Well, what do you think? I already made a stipulation that because all these teams are coming out with like rumored thirds and stuff, which is another video, and it's like I can't buy them all. I just can't.
You made 24-25 a banner year.
Yeah, I'm still paying that off. So.
Oh wow.
Anyways, so we're gonna end this now. So.
Okay.
Are you ready?
He's done. He shrems them, John. Phil, go ahead and take us out.
Do you think the microphone picked up on him putting his foot down on that one? Because, my goodness.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, ring the bell to get notifications when we post new videos, and come back for another episode of Ugly Thirds.
If you're wondering, yes, Phil is shorter in that last shot.
I don't know why.
He shrunk down when he started thinking about the money he's spending. Empty wallet he's sitting on.